Hello, my name is Brandon Ivey, and today we're going to go over the outline for success. Becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals. Now, I want to be very clear on this. This is not an instruction manual. This is just an outline. From experience, I've learned that you cannot be taught how to have success. You can be shown the path, but the only way that you're going to get there is if you actually walk the path. And based off experience, trial and error, and failing a whole lot of times. Fortunately, there is an outline. Always watch who you're listening to. One of my mentors is Jim Rohn, and this entire video is built around Jim Rohn's trainings. So this is an outline for success, becoming the person you need to be in order to achieve your goals. First, we're going to go over some Jim Rohn quotes that if you've ever read his literature, listened to his audio cassettes, watched them on DVD, these are basic foundations that he lives by. He doesn't do a speech without mentioning these core principles. Let's go over one. To have more than you've got, you have to become more than you are. This is more difficult than it sounds. Most people don't get this. Everybody wants more, but most people are not willing to become more. And you cannot get one without the other. There's a reason why 90% of lottery winners go broke after 10 years. Why? They never became more or learned the skills necessary to earn that type of an income. And once it was thrust upon them, they definitely didn't have the skills necessary to keep that income. So the only way you're going to become more out of life is if you become more. Or the only way you want to get more out of life is if you become more. And all these quotes is something that you're going to have to go out there and experience. I've read this years ago, but only recently have I started to understand. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person, not something you pursue. What you pursue more often than not eludes you. That last sentence right there is very important. What you pursue more often than not eludes you. Most people want to make more money. Most people are pursuing more money. Yet most people never make more money. It eludes them. Why? Because they're not attracting it to them. They're not attracting success to them. By becoming an attractive person, you're going to attract other attractive people. It's a law. You don't have to understand it. If you don't get it, look at it like this. Birds of a feather flock together. If you are a loser, I guarantee the 5 people around you are also losers. If you are a winner, I guarantee the 5 people around you are also winners. So if you want to attract other successful people and success in your life, you have to become one first. How do I do that? Look at the end result. When do you build a house? Think about it. When do you build a house? When you start laying down the bricks? No. When it is finished. You have to know what the end result of the house is going to look like before you start laying the foundation. Same thing goes for your life. So success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person, not something you pursue. What you pursue more often than not eludes you. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That also should be a no-brainer, right? But that's not always the case. especially for people who are sick and tired of being on a 9-to-5 job and they go ahead and get started in a home-based business. And they work their home-based business on a part-time basis, which means they put maybe 40 to 50 hours a week into their job, and they'll put 2 hours a week into their business or themselves. That should also actually be reversed. If you work harder on yourself than you do your job, you will become wealthy. Again, it's a law. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living, which is fine. If you work harder on yourself, you could make a fortune, which is super fine. You understand the difference? Work hard on a job like all of you do so that you don't get fired and maybe one day get a 2% raise. And you can make a living with that. You may be able to survive. But I believe that life is more than survival. Life is to be enjoyed. And if you work harder on yourself, then you write your own check. And you live life as you please. I cannot stress this enough. Work harder on yourself no matter what you're doing. Develop skills that you have never had before. It seems like these are repeating themes. If you want to become more, you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to learn skills that you don't have. Here's a couple. And these are very important. I'm going to slow down for this. Learn sales, how to get customers, and then how to turn those customers into referrals. If you learn about sales, then you become an expert at anything that you do. Think about this. This is a skill that will benefit you no matter what you do. So you learn sales on how to get customers. And then you can become an elite by teaching those customers or teaching yourself how to turn those customers into more referrals. So you don't just have one customer. One customer can lead you to 10, 50, or 100 other customers. Here's another skill. Learn how to find good people. If you search, you will find. Finding is reserved for the searcher, not those who hope, not those who wish, but those who search. If you want an open door opportunity, you have to go and knock on the doors. Again, there's people out there that want more. They wish for more. They hope they can have more. They think that something's going to fall out of the sky and fall right on their lap just because they prayed for it. That's not how things work. If you're in a home-based business and you want to build yourself an organization, and you know that the only way your organization is going to thrive is if you have good people on your team. How do you get to good people on your team? Well, we already discussed earlier, become an attractive person. But you need to learn how to find good people. Most people don't know how to do this. And I can't tell you how to do this. Again, this is an outline. It's up to you to go out there and just do it. Finding is reserved for the searcher. Those who search always finds the best gold. Here's another step. And these steps are in order. These skills. Learn how to get people to work together. If 2 or 3 agree on a common purpose, nothing is impossible. Let's do it is more powerful than I will do it. If you are the one-man show, if everything flows through you, you will always get beat out by people who don't have as much skill as you, but can agree on a common purpose and work together as a team. They will always beat out you, the more talented individual. Let's do it is more powerful than I will do it. Learn the power of recognition and reward. Reward people for small steps of progress. Be so busy giving other people recognition that you really don't need it for yourself. If you are searching for recognition for yourself, you have just one voice singing you praises, and that is you. If you give recognition to others, you will have hundreds of voices giving recognition and thanks right back to you. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. On our team, Power Team Marketing, we go above and beyond to recognize the people for the smallest of steps in our opportunity. Recognition is very powerful. We have people on our team that's working harder to earn their first video than they would to earn a paycheck. It's all about recognition. Don't be selfish. Don't try to take the spotlight. Give it away. The more you give it away, the more it comes back to you. Now you want to learn communication, another very important skill. There's two types of communication when you're dealing with people out there. The first is you must understand the personality traits. And each one of these sections I could spend an hour on individually. So I don't have the time to do that here. Personality traits, I like to say shark, dolphin, whale, and urchin. Know your personality traits. And instead of me giving you the answer, I want you to go do your own research on personality traits. B is the feel, felt, found method. I guarantee if you learn this method, you will be the ultimate recruiter, the top dog of your company, the top producer. What is the feel, felt, found method? Again, I don't have the time. This is for you to go out and do your own research to find out what the feel, felt, found method is. But learn this step. Learn how to set goals. It's amazing. Most people have no idea how to set goals. They have no idea where they're going. They have no destination. They're like the cruise to nowhere. If you've never heard of that before, that's everybody gets on a cruise ship. The ship sails out to sea and then circles for 3 to 4 days, going nowhere, and then comes right back to shore. A rudderless ship. Set your goals on where you want to be, and it does not matter how outrageous it is. Just set them high. Learn how to inspire other people. Some people cannot see the greatness in themselves, but through your eyes, you can show them how great they are. This is also a trait that a lot of people don't learn. This is what separates the recruiters from the builders. There's a difference. There's a difference between the person who can recruit 50 to 60 to 70 people personally and the builder who only recruits 5 people and makes more money than everybody else. Learn how to inspire other people even when you don't feel like it. Learning this trait right here took me from earning 3 and 4 figures a month to earning 5 figures a month. Develop an appetite for learning. Invest in yourself. Become a searcher for knowledge. Here's another key thing, especially for those of you who don't like to read. Success leaves clues. There's a certain things that all successful people do that broke people don't do. Successful people and wealthy people are all about learning. And not the same learning you got in school. No. It's called Wealth 101. And they invest huge sums of money for their own personal development and self-improvement. I had one person tell me that, Brandon, you always talk about personal development. If I'm spending all my time personal development, I'm not building my business. All I can say to him is, you don't get it. Because you searched and grew in personal development, they will come to you. A lot of people miss this step. We're thinning out the ranks right here. There's only a few people that will do this. Develop a financial plan. Don't make the mistake that Jim Rohn made when he first got out, a millionaire by 31. Spent money like it was a waterfall. And then when that waterfall shored up, where's the money? So develop a financial plan so that that waterfall will always continue to flow for you, whether you're in a good or a bad economy. That's why the rich get richer no matter what the economy is doing. They have a plan. I'm going to end with Earl Schoaf quotes. Who is Earl Schoaf? Well, if you've ever studied Jim Rohn, his mentor was Earl Schoaf. And here's things that he has said in his own quotes that Jim Rohn uses all the time. Don't trust your memory. Keep a journal. I know some of you out there don't like to write things down. Always walk around and always have a pad on you that you can pull out at any time. You may have a thought. You may have an idea. And if you don't write it down right then and there, you're going to forget about that idea later that night. This happened to me the other day. I had a great idea, and I had nothing to write on. By the time I got home, I completely forgot about what it was. And what was my great idea? Making this video. That was my great idea. I'm days behind making this because I didn't write it down. I forgot. Here's another quote. This is not all the company pays. It's all they pay you. What does that mean? Well, you have people out there, especially on a 9-to-5 job, that cry and complain about how much money they're making. And they say that the company doesn't pay them enough money. And what Earl is saying is, no, somebody's making a lot of money in the company. That's just what the company is paying you because that's all they think you're worth. So if you want to increase your stock, you need to increase who you are and how you handle things. And then maybe the company will pay you more money. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Jim Rohn said the same thing. Profits are better than wages. Profits are better than wages. Memorize this. The next time somebody who's broke, busted, and disgusted on a 9-to-5 job comes to you and says that your business is a pyramid scam, that you need to go back to a job. You see, a job provides you wages. Your own home-based business provides you profits. You do your own research to figure out what the difference is. This goes back to, this is all the company pays you. It doesn't cost too much. The truth is you can't afford it. How many times have you walked into a store and you wanted something and you're checking the price tag? And you say, I can't get this because it costs too much. No, it doesn't cost too much. You just can't afford it because somebody out there is buying it. It might as well be you. Stop pointing the finger at everybody else or the rising prices of anything. You just can't afford it. But that is a temporary solution that you can always fix. The true mark of greatness is not found in what a person does with their own life. It is found in helping others discover that they too can become great. Did you catch that? A true mark of greatness is not found in what a person does with their own life. What good is that if the people that you care about don't know, what's going on? The true sign of greatness is in helping everybody else. Because in helping other people become great, you become great by default. Nothing comes to us. Everything comes through us, from us. Everything in this world that happens to us comes from in here, not out there. Again, you can change your circumstances anytime in life by changing what decisions you make and who you point the finger at. If you change yourself, you can have everything that you want. If you're pointing the finger at everybody else, well, what you seek will always continue to elude you. Let's not be moons, the reflector of the light. Let's be suns. Let's be the creator of the light, the creator of ideas. We all have the capacity. Goes back to what Wallace D. Wattles has stated in The Science of Getting Rich. You do not need to become wealthy on the competitive field. You can become wealthy by creating something brand new. You take the time out and learn this last step. Very, very important. Again, this is just an outline, not an instruction manual. Here's some reading material that you need to have. Again, Success Leaves Clues. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Classic. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Completely changed my mindset and opened me up for a home-based business. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. I cannot explain the power that this book has effectively. All I could say is that after reading this book and listening to Kevin Trudeau, my life has never been the same again. For the positive. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Here's one famous quote that I will say from Wallace D. Wattles. And you want to make sure that you get this. It's not important that you do certain things. What's important is in the way you do those things. You understand that? It is not in doing certain things that is important. It's doing things in a certain way that makes all the difference. You're going to have two people in the same field, same profession, same education, and yet one succeeds where one fails. Because one did things in a certain way. What is that certain way, you ask? Read the book. The Law of Success in 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill. What is this? Well, it is the real version of Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is actually a watered down version. I like to call it a preview or an infomercial for the Law of Success in 16 Lessons. We have to break you in very slowly. So Think and Grow Rich is just giving you some exposure. But the Law of Success in 16 Lessons is the meat and potatoes. Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. When I read this or listened to this audio series, it's like a light bulb went off in my head. And I can only tell you results. After 8 months of mediocrity, 8 years of mediocrity, and listening to this audio series and then implementing it, it is amazing where my life is right now compared to where it was. Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. Leadership Goal by John C. Maxwell. If you ever want to be a success and you understand that you can't get there by yourself, you have to become a leader. I advise any book by John C. Maxwell. That's how strong I feel about him. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. I mean, the title says it all. That's the end of the slideshow. Thank you for taking a look. I hope you take serious advantage of this outline. God bless. Bye-bye.